Yeah, the average guy, the inspiring average guy is what this is all about. So you've got the two hats. You've got the Te Kaiarahi,
Yep.
and you've got Calm Under Pressure. If we can just talk a little bit about how that is blowing up, because Dave said you're an integral part of it. You're a sort of a collaborator with him on it now. And we were talking before about how, and I remember being on it thinking I was really lucky to be in it at ground level. I think there was 23 of us, and it was starting to take form. And every single person that was on that course was going home to tell someone else they have to do it. And as word spreads and you get some influential people coming in and taking their corporates through, like it's just going to grow and grow and grow. I know you've already been getting international interest. How do you scale something like that up? Does it have to be you and Dave? Like, is there limits to how big that can get?
Look, it is growing, and the work that he's done, it's amazing. And so the thing with Dave is, what he did for me. You can't put that into words, or you can't measure that. But the amount of love that I have and trust that I have for him, I only want to see the best for him. It's worked really well because we're quite different in a lot of ways. We have similar beliefs, similar values, but the way we work, because I feel stuff. I don't need someone to break down what's happening in me internally when I take 5 breaths, close my eyes and try and get into a parasympathetic state. I can feel it, and I know that it's working. Dave can really break that stuff down in a really simple way, and some people need that. We are getting so many people, and after the podcast, it just blew up, and everyone that's coming on there is saying, "Oh, we heard Dave on a podcast," and he's doing speaking. The ripple-on effects of the work he's doing is just going far and wide, and it's making it to New York. It's made it to Asia. We're getting people coming over from there. I know that Dave wants to make this the best breath workshop in the world, and I've got no doubt that he can do that. And where to from here? I don't know if I'm the right person to be saying some of this stuff, but just watch the next 12 months. It's going to go.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I was on it. I think it probably already is. Not that I've been on any other breathing workshops, but it just wasn't what I expected. Yeah. The start where you're sitting around in circles, there's 23 of us and everyone's sharing their vulnerabilities. Yeah. And it was builders and physios and doctors and surgeons, and the layers came down straight away, and people were revealing parts of themselves, which I'm pretty sure some of them had never said out loud before. And the power of it and the way that it instantly created community, and then you're on this journey for 2 days as everyone is learning together these all different holistic parts of your life and health. I was like, fuck, man, this is so powerful.
It's so cool, and it happened fairly organically. It just happened, and the great part of it is that people come and they're not sure what they're gonna get, and the first part of the day that is not what they expected. They say things like, "Oh, when are we running the dunes?" It's like, "Oh, hold on, we're not running the dunes," because they see Izzy running up and down the dunes. And the vulnerability part, we just organically found that, and it breaks everyone down. And so this workshop, we've had people from all walks of life, high achievers, gold medalists, rugby players, tradies, housewives, just everything. Emergency services. And when we sit down in that circle and we become vulnerable, because we ask them when they first get there, we want you to be vulnerable. There's a time and a place, and today's the day that we're going to get vulnerable. And there's this misconception that it's a weakness. I mean, there's a time and a place to be vulnerable. And they come and they start sharing some of their weaknesses. And when you go around, everyone's got them. They're all the same. And the more we do this, the more I'm thinking there's so many people out there struggling. The other really powerful thing about both of the workshops, mine and his, is that people are isolated, like myself. We're dealing with this by ourselves, and we don't know the answers. And when they come together, be vulnerable, learn how to control their emotions through the breath. But it's much more than a breath workshop. It's about connecting spiritually, mentally, physically. Talk about mental health. Well, hold on, what about the physical and the spiritual? In Māori, we're spiritual. You know, we're connecting with that stuff. So yeah, that it's not just a breath workshop. It's much more than that, and it's developed over the time. And we're getting big corporates from New York coming that are killing it in the business world, but emotionally they're a little, they're struggling like the rest of us, and they're coming back, and they want to get more of their friends to come, or we go there, depending on how it works.
Do you reckon we get Shay on there?
100%. Love to have him out there. Love to have him out there. Because the other thing about it too is it's not who's the strongest. It's not who's the fastest. It's got nothing to do with any of that
Who's
stuff.
the funniest?
You'd probably win that.